Hello everybody that's watching this later and they get to see the introduction. I am Chris Pickard, I'm Director of Body Imbalance in Hertfordshire, and today I'm going to talk to you about the link between supplements, children, crime and peace. If you've been following me for some time, you know that I am passionate about trying to do more about peace, and not, I don't care what people might think about me, like what am I going to do about world peace? And this is exactly why so many people, and why the world is in such a crazy place, because so many people do nothing because they think they can do nothing. One of the things that I've learned from reading about the last 100 or so years of Nobel Prize Peace winners, Nobel Prize for Peace winners, is the fact that everyone can do something. Anyone can actually make a huge difference. And I believe that difference all starts with ourselves and with self-health, because when you look after your health, you're more likely to be at peace. And if you're at peace, you're more likely to help spread some world peace. So what kind of evidence is there for this? Well, first of all, we know that the brain is the most nutrient dependent, toxin vulnerable, stress vulnerable, and also exercise dependent organ in the body. And if the body isn't getting enough, if the brain isn't getting enough of what it needs, how can it work properly? And if it's not working properly, how can it behave properly? Because this is where behavior comes from. And the answer is it can't. And there have been many studies looking at, is there a difference between a good brain and an evil brain? And there is some scientists who say that yes, there's a difference in the structures in the brain for some reason. But what we're now realizing is that those structures actually can change. And the reason they may change, for bad or for good, is because of things like nutrition and toxicity and how you think as well, because how you think will actually also alter what nutrition can get into your brain. It's all interlinked. So what might be the effect of maybe taking a whole load of good supplements and giving them to people in prison? Well, in 2002, I think the UK was the first place to do this. They took a group of men in prison, some of whom were more violent than others, and they found that by giving them omega-3 supplements, so good fish oil, some vitamins and some minerals over a 3-month period, violent behaviour in I think it was mostly young men between about 18 and 25 that were studied, violent behaviour went down by 35%. That's 35% decrease in violent crime just by good nutrition. And these studies have been repeated in other prisons around the world and in more than one UK prison. And they consistently show that just giving a good supplement and comparing it with giving just a sugar pill, you get a decrease in all kinds of antisocial behaviour, but the biggest decrease is in violent crime, violent behaviour. So nutrition is actually key to bringing down violence. And why is this? It's because the brain is the most nutrient dependent organ in the body. You need it to make all the right chemicals to make you feel good and to make you behave well. So why hasn't this been followed up even more? Why aren't there nutrients and supplements being given to every prison? Why isn't this being told at a young age? We don't know, because again, it's been studied in schools. They found out that when they gave a group of school children omega-3 and omega-6, good quality oils, and vitamins and minerals, there's a decrease in antisocial behaviour by 47%. So that was things like disrespect, defiance, and just generally disorderly conduct, all decreased. So yes, it's safe to give supplements to children, especially if you actually seek a healthcare expert about your child rather than just going to a shop and buying some vitamins and giving to them. It's good to get some individualized advice, at least advice from an expert who really knows what they're talking about. And again, as we age, it becomes more and more important. So the truth is out there, okay? supplements actually have a place in world peace. There's a US, I think he's an ex-military general, and he was convinced that higher crime and in fact higher terrorism rates, that's what he was looking at, were higher the further away from the sea people were, because the further away from the sea they were, the less omega-3. And he was convinced that violent behaviour and terrorism and acts of extremism, so he looked at America and he looked at the Middle East. And of course, sort of the most extremes come from the middle of America and the Far East in the middle, in the deserts, far away from fish. So there's a place for world peace. Just talking about fish oil, well, these omega-3 supplements, which don't have to come from fish, and vitamins and minerals. So please go out there, spread the word, okay, that everyone can take a proactive part in peace, both by looking after themselves nutritionally and telling other people, getting their children into the good habit of taking some supplements. Now, this doesn't replace a good diet, because again, a good diet, decreasing sugar, fruits and vegetables, that has been shown to have an effect as well. But the icing on the cake is it's that easy, people. Supplements could decrease violent behaviour on the planet by over a third. Just imagine that, a third less violent behaviour over the planet just by taking a vitamin pill. No drug will do this, because as we know, antidepressants actually increase violent behaviour. It's got to be done with supplements as close to natural as possible, okay, without mind-bending drugs. Hey, thank you very much, and live long and prosper and be well and be peaceful.